If you listen closely when you bend down, sit back, or walk down a quiet hallway, you can almost hear it. A dull, creaking, sandpaper-like grinding inside your knees. It feels exactly like a rusty door hinge trying to force its way open, and it leaves you wondering, how much longer can my joints actually take this? Most people assume this grinding is just a normal tax we pay for growing older. They assume the cartilage is gone and there's nothing left to do but manage the pain. But what if that stiff, cracking sensation isn't a permanent death sentence for your mobility? What if your knees aren't actually worn out, but are simply trapped in a state of deep mechanical dehydration? Before you accept a future of daily painkillers or start looking up knee replacement surgeries, you need to understand a hidden biological truth. Your joints do not have to stay rusty. Your body has a built-in, completely automated mechanism designed to flush out that internal grit and restore smooth, frictionless glide to your joints. You don't need to lift a single heavy weight to trigger it. In fact, a specialized zero-impact approach, called the sponge method, can unlock your knees' natural fluid gates right from the comfort of your living room. To understand why your knees feel like unoiled machinery, we have to look at how cartilage actually behaves. Imagine a brand new kitchen sponge. When it's fully saturated with water, it's soft, incredibly bouncy, and can take a massive amount of squeezing and twisting without taking any damage. But what happens if you leave that same sponge on the edge of the sink for a week? It shrinks. It dries out. It becomes hard, brittle, and crusty. If you try to force that dry sponge to bend, it doesn't flex. It snaps and tears. This is exactly what is happening inside a stiff, rusty knee. Your joint cartilage is that dry sponge. But here is the fascinating puzzle of human anatomy. Cartilage is one of the only living tissues in your entire body that has zero direct bloodlines running through it. It can't just draw hydration or nutrients from your bloodstream like a muscle does. Instead, it relies 100% on a surrounding reservoir of thick, protective moisture called synovial fluid. So, how does a dry, crusty joint sponge actually drink? It can't do it while resting, and it can't do it under heavy crushing weight. It requires a highly specific physical process called imbibition. When you decompress the joint and apply gentle, rhythmic, alternating pressure, you create a vacuum effect. The old stagnant metabolic waste is squeezed out of the cartilage matrix, and the moment the pressure relaxes, the cartilage expands like a thirsty sponge, soaking up fresh, nutrient-rich lubrication. If you try to walk miles on a dry joint sponge, you tear it. But if you use the sponge method first, you saturate the tissue, creating a thick, protective cushion before your feet even hit the floor. This routine is designed to be completely effortless, requiring no sweat, no strain, and no specialized gym equipment. You can practice it while checking your morning messages or catching up on your favorite show. Start by sitting comfortably on a chair or the edge of your bed. Extend one leg out straight in front of you, resting your heel softly on a footrest or the floor. Take both of your hands and place them gently right above your kneecap on your lower thigh. Now, instead of lifting the leg, focus entirely on the joint itself. Try to gently push the back of your knee downward toward the floor, while simultaneously drawing your toes backward toward your shin. As you do this, you will feel the muscle right above your knee firm up. Hold this gentle, active contraction for 5 seconds. Picture that dry internal sponge being compressed just enough to drive out old, stagnant fluid. Now, Relax the muscle completely for 3 seconds, allowing the joint to expand and draw fresh fluid back into the tissue. Repeat this rhythmic squeeze and release pattern 10 times on each side. This simple, non-weight-bearing movement signals the joint capsule that it is safe to open the fluid valves, instantly reducing that initial morning stiffness. Next, let's target the sides of the joint to ensure the lubrication covers the entire surface area. Sit up straight in your chair with both feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Keeping your feet completely glued to the ground, gently press your knees outward against an imaginary resistance band, holding for 5 seconds. You'll feel the outer muscles of your hips and thighs engage. Release that tension and then immediately press your knees inward toward each other, giving a gentle squeeze for another 5 seconds. By alternating this outward and inward tension 5 times in each direction, you are changing the pressure vectors inside the knee capsule. This ensures that the synovial fluid doesn't just pool in one spot, but is thoroughly wiped across the entire layer of cartilage, coating every single microscopic crevice like a fresh layer of grease on a rusty gear. Finally, we need to completely flush the joint using total decompression. Find a sturdy table, a high bar stool, or a kitchen counter where you can sit comfortably and let your lower legs dangle freely in the air without your feet touching the ground. Completely let go of any tension in your calves, ankles, and thighs. Let your legs become heavy passive weights. Now begin a very small, effortless swinging motion forward and backward. Do not force the movement or try to kick high. Let it be as lazy and relaxed as possible, using nothing but the natural momentum of gravity. As your legs dangle and swing, the weight of your lower leg creates a tiny microscopic gap between the upper thigh bone and the shin bone. This completely removes the crushing weight of your body off the cartilage. For 2 full minutes, your knee joint is moving in a zero-gravity environment, allowing the freshly pumped synovial fluid to wash over the newly softened cartilage sponge with absolutely zero friction. To make the sponge method truly effective, you have to ensure that the fluid your body is pumping is actually thick and premium, not thin and watery. The easiest way to do this is to optimize your internal hydration timing. Drink a glass of room temperature or warm water 15 minutes before you perform these movements. When you are dehydrated, your body prioritizes your vital organs, leaving your joint fluid thin and depleted. Prehydrating ensures there is an immediate, abundant water supply ready to fill the joint space. Furthermore, feed the sponge what it needs to stay resilient. Your body requires healthy fats to maintain the viscosity of its natural lubricants. Adding clean sources of healthy fats like avocados, extra virgin olive oil, and almonds acts as a natural anti-friction agent for your tissue. Combine this with antioxidant-rich foods like blueberries or green tea, and you actively neutralize the microscopic cellular debris that causes your joints to feel gritty and stiff in the first place. Overcoming rusty, grinding knees isn't about finding a miracle cure or pushing through grueling workouts that leave you limping. It's about understanding the simple mechanics of how your body cares for itself. If you can commit to using the sponge method twice a day, once right after you wake up to prepare your joints for the day, and once before bed to flush out the day's wear and tear, the results will speak for themselves. Within a matter of weeks, that deep, stubborn grinding noise will begin to fade into a quiet, smooth glide. The sharp ache of bone-on-bone friction will give way to a supportive, fluid cushion. And standing up from a chair will stop feeling like a calculated risk and start feeling completely effortless again. Keep your joints hydrated, keep the movement fluid, and let your body do what it was designed to do. If you found the sponge method helpful, make sure to hit the like button, share this video with a friend or family member who complains about stiff knees, and subscribe for more simple, natural ways to keep your body moving pain-free. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.